Hi friends, this is your friend Dr. Sujata Naik. Once again welcoming you on another episode on your own channel, and that is Homeo Insights. And continuing with our series on obesity. If you recollect, in the last video I had mentioned about what obesity is about and why being overweight is not necessarily being obese. And there's a difference in being overweight and being obese. Obesity is largely a medical condition and perhaps may not be tackled by lifestyle changes alone. It needs a medical expert's help. Whereas just being overweight could be tackled with certain lifestyle changes, with dietary modifications, with proper exercise, and with certain not just healthy eating but smart eating as well, which I'm going to discuss with you today. But before that, as I said, that being overweight and being obese are two different things. You can be overweight and yet be healthy, and whereas being obese is definitely not healthy. Obesity is classically a BMI above 30, and you could have a BMI above 25, maybe 26, 27, and you'll be overweight but not really classically obese. So today I'm going to talk about the challenges that we face in weight management or in weight reduction once we've crossed the BMI of 25 or 26. And we don't know where to start. So many inputs. The internet is full of ideas. You have the General Motors diet, you have the intermittent fasting, you have the only fruit diet, the only vegetable diet, the only smoothie diet. So everything, there's an influx of so much of information, and we didn't know what to start because what suits one person may not suit the other. But today we'll just talk about the challenges that we face when we really want to lose weight and how to go about it. So the basic challenge is, one is how to lose weight, and two is how to maintain the lost weight. Because a lot of people in their enthusiasm go for the crash diets. They tend to lose weight very quickly. The first 2-3 kilos are very easy to lose because you tend to lose a lot of water when you're on a diet, on a crash diet. And once that those 3 kilos are gone, then you reach a plateau after which nothing seems to work. And the other challenge is that a lot of patients, now as a doctor, I've seen that a lot of patients coming to me saying that I'm eating exactly what I was eating 10 years ago or 15 years ago, and yet I seem to be putting on weight for nothing. The diet that they describe on a day-to-day basis is probably very, very simple, is apparently very healthy, and yet they don't seem to lose weight. So and it's that's a really puzzling thing because they say that no, we don't eat sweets, we don't overeat, I don't binge, but there is something. There has to be something in that because weight gain cannot just happen like that. There are several reasons, and the most important reason, I mean, it's a simple equation of input-output ratio. So what you gain, what you're taking in, you must be able to burn. And if you're not burning, however little you're eating, maybe too much for you. It's as simple as that. So even if you were eating the same that you were eating 10 years ago, probably your calorie output is now much lesser. You're not running about the way you were. You're not exercising the way you were at that time. You're simply walking less. You're simply moving around less. So all the calories, when they're added together, probably you're losing much lesser than what you were losing then. So this is the main challenge, when people think that they're eating less and yet they don't seem to lose weight. And two is about, and they say that, oh, I'm so busy in city life and I really don't have, today's urban life, it's a fact that you really don't have time for yourself. So where is the time to go for fancy diets? Very few people can afford a professional nutritionist advice where you eat every 2 hourly or eat every 3 hourly. The nutritionist says you must eat oatmeal at this time and you must eat a basin chilla at that time and you must have a smoothie instead of your lunch. And I really don't have the time, nor the money, nor the energy for this. So how do I incorporate healthy eating during my day-to-day life? That is one challenge. Two is that I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to go for swimming. I don't have time for exercise because I reach home at past 8:39 in the evening. I have to leave for work the next morning at 8 o'clock. And where is the time? Weekends, I'm so tired, so fagged out that I really want to sleep. So these are the challenges that people would face on a day-to-day basis, and they don't know how to incorporate the weight management thing into this. So even some those who would join a nutritionist program don't generally sustain it because well begun is half done, as they say. So they just give it up midway when they see that the results are not coming in. So for these people, I would just give you some simple tips how to do this. One is that when you think you're eating less, just try and introspect whether what you're eating on a day-to-day basis, is that getting negated by your weekend binging? For example, if you went to a party or if you go for a function or a wedding reception, are you able to control yourself? Are you able to control those urges? A lot of nutrition will say that you go on a strict diet Monday to Saturday, and then Sunday or maybe one day of the week can be a cheat day. I really don't believe that there is any reason to cheat. Cheating itself is such a negative term. So what you must do is that what you can eat by default every single day of the week, you should follow only that diet. What your body is asking for, what your constitution is asking for by default, that should be your diet. The diet that you can follow forever should be your diet. Dieting should not be taken as a matter of punishment or a task that gets done, 3 months, 6 months, and then I can go back to what I was eating earlier. I can go back to living. Now I'm just on a punishment spree. I think that is a very wrong way of looking at a diet. Because after say 35 or 40 or 45, when your metabolism starts going down, your body does not need the kind of calories that it did when you were 15 or 16 or 20. So automatically the need for calories goes down. Half our diets are composed of unnecessary food which your body does not require. That does not mean that you have to, if healthy means not tasty, or what is unhealthy is necessarily tasty. It isn't like that. You can still incorporate your favorite food items into your diet and go on eliminating those which you don't require or which you have been mindlessly eating. So think for a moment, what is it that you would never want to give up? For example, a person with a sweet tooth, say that I cannot give up sweets no matter what. So I'm going to follow this diet for 3 months. After this, I have to eat my sweet. Or somebody will say, I cannot give up on snacky items. I cannot give up on my chaat, my pani puri. Someone will say, I cannot give up on my burgers. So that's all right. If you think that this is something that you can never give up, keep that item on your priority list and try and eliminate the other things. So for example, you go out for a wedding function and you think that there's a little piece of chocolate cake is something you really desire. Have that little piece and try and compromise on the other things. You can't have a little of everything and say that I ate very little and still putting on weight. So you must be able to prioritize. So prioritization is the main thing. 2 is mindful eating. You must know what goes into your mouth and what is going into your stomach. So never eat when you're watching TV, never eat when you're reading, never eat when you're traveling, never eat when you're talking, chatting, or doing something, waiting for somebody, because that is the time when this mindless eating happens, and it's subconsciously you're putting into your mouth calories which you don't require. You're not hungry, but you're just impatient, or you're waiting for somebody, you have to kill time, so you're putting things into your mouth. So mindful eating is one more very, very important thing. Thirdly is that you must have fixed hours of eating, because your body metabolism recognizes lunch at lunchtime, dinner at dinner time. So don't keep changing your timing. Like if you have a range of time, you have breakfast between 7 and 9 and you have lunch between say 1 and 3 or dinner between say 7 and 9, keep it to that. Don't keep changing your timing. Don't keep changing the portions. Make sure that the portions are fixed. Something which I recommend a lot to people these days is that there's one meal of the day you can have of your choice and keep the other 2 meals as very, very frugal. For example, if you think that you cannot compromise on lunch, then make sure that you have your proper lunch the way you would have had maybe earlier. And the other 2 meals you must be able to then compromise on by going very, very frugal. You don't have to make fancy meals, but you can have simple meals but very small in quantity. And make sure that you don't binge in between, you don't snack in between, you don't tend to put things in between. There are a lot of things that have invisible calories. For example, any drink except water is going to have calories, no matter how healthy it looks. So whether it is it's a smoothie made with fruit, or it's a yogurt drink, or it's a soya drink, everything has calories. So I would say that the first thing you must cut down is that cut down on all this. Just have water. If you need to have your tea or coffee, have 1 or 2 cups without sugar with very little milk, and make sure that you have whole fruit. Whole fruit will give you more fiber, is healthier, and it will keep you off constipation, most important. So have that, and there is no need to mix several fruits and vegetables and make a thick glass of smoothie and think that that is healthy and still put on weight. So all that is not required. Secondly, thirdly is the people feel that if you start exercising, you need extra protein. This is again a myth, because to need that extra protein, you really need to work very hard. And the kind of iron that you need to pump in the gym is very significant for you to have that extra whey protein. A little bit of protein in your diet is enough. Like for example, you can have paneer, or you can have some grilled chicken, or you can have some grilled fish on the side. Not with all the spices and the butter and ghee, but simply just grilled. So you can have that, and that you can have with, which will give you just the right amount of calories through protein. Again, there's one more thing, that people have this myth about giving up on carbs. And I think that is extremely unhealthy, because Indian diets, Indian guts are carbohydrate friendly. We've been brought up on carbohydrates. We've been brought up on parathas, rotis, rice. So all this gluten thing and having only brown rice and cutting down on basmati rice is a little overdone. If you can, you should. But if you cannot, don't feel guilty. You can still have a healthy diet with all of these in moderate proportions. It is unfair for a South Indian to be told that you just give up rice completely and go on a wheat diet. Obviously, he's going to get allergic to gluten. Or a Punjabi to give up his parathas and go on quinoa and go on oats. It's not going to agree with his stomach. So anything which you've been brought up conventionally on should be stuck to. Have it in moderate and smaller portions, but you stick to your traditional diet. So, and the most important thing is that before you get onto a weight management program, ask yourself an important question. Why is it that I want to lose weight? Very, very important. Very few people know that. A lot of people put it under the garb of saying that I want to look healthy, and I've been told that my joints are going to give way if I put on weight. But remember that secretly, everybody wants to lose weight because they want to look good. Because looking good and being of the right weight are somehow now getting unnaturally associated. Only a person who's slim with certain contours is going to look good is the myth that people are carrying. Remember that if you've been overweight since childhood, there is a certain constitution. You've been plump, you've been stout. There is no reason to feel inferior. As long as you're working to your capacity, you're healthy, you don't suffer all the time from recurrent sicknesses, you're cheerful and active, there's absolutely no reason to feel that you are unhealthy. So just because you are 5 or 6 kilos more than your peer or your counterpart at work who appears to be slimmer, but just think that, is that person more healthy than you? Are you unhealthy? Are you falling sick often? More than, as I said, remember if I told you in the last video, is that it's not an absolute weight, but it's a relative weight that is important. If you put on more than say 5% of weight in the past 6 or 7 years or maybe 10 years, then this definitely needs correction. But if you're within a range of say 2 to 3, 4, 5 kilos since that time, then I think you really don't need to worry too much. Just a little bit of change here and there, and you will know where to make that change is enough. So ask yourself that question. Why do you need to lose weight? Is it necessary to lose weight to feel good, to look healthy, to feel healthy? And if health is not associated with weight all the time, then let me just concentrate on my health. Let me just eat what I've been eating in healthy, moderate proportions. And I think that's the key to real health. We will talk about how homeopathy can help you to lose weight when it is an unhealthy weight gain, and how it can help you to maintain that and keep healthy, how to ward off certain diseases which are associated with weight gain. But this is just this much for now, and see you very soon. Bye-bye.